welcome to the Clean Reads podcast. I'm your host, Izzy, and I have a question for you. How do you find a clean book that is okay and you know is clean, doesn't have any spice or any excessive bad language in it, or content you just don't want to read about, or you're sensitive to some things and you find a book, read it, and it has something that you never wanted to know? How do you find it? Well, in this episode, I'm going to be explaining on how I find my books and what process I go through to find every book. And of course, I'm not perfect, and let's just say and this happens a lot, where I go to a bookstore, I buy a book, and I start reading, and it ends up having something bad in it. Then what do you do with that bad book? How do you get rid of it? Because unless you want to keep it, and you think you'll keep it until you're older, how are you going to do that? So first off, we're going to start with what are the best websites that I use to locate and try to sift through what books are good and what books are bad. Now, of course, you don't have to use my methods, but these are the methods that I use as well. So there's 3 websites that I use, and the first one is Goodreads. And you're probably wondering, how is Goodreads supposed to help me? Am I supposed to sift through every single review on Goodreads? Well, actually, no, you don't have to do that. So if you click on a book, let's just say it is a Christian fiction romance, you go down, you keep swiping down until you get to the bottom where it says genres. Now, under the genres, you can kind of see what categories this book falls into. So if it's a Christian fiction romance, it will say clean romance sometimes. I'm not saying that all Christian fiction is clean, but it will say that if it is. And of course, there's different types of clean, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just explaining to you what you can how you can have this information to help you pick out the book. And if it says that, it can also say if there's any relationship issues in there. And then you keep scrolling down once you selected a book until you hit that section of genres. And that will initially help you with figuring out what category it falls into. And you can also read the description of some books. I've gotten rid of a few books recently with redoing my room and sitting down and just going through books and just reading the description on the back, that I've gotten rid of a few books that looked really nice but actually didn't have anything good in it. Okay, the next one that I have, number 2, is Amazon.com. And you're probably thinking, why Amazon? Because Amazon is just a shopping company, right? Well, actually, no. With all their products they have, if you go to look up a book, let's just say it's another Christian fiction romance. That's so specific. I don't know why I picked Christian fiction romance. Okay. So when you press on that book on Amazon, and you see the stars that are like the ratings on the reviews. So you press that, and then you will go down to all the reviews. Now, if you scroll a little bit up, you will be able to see a search bar. And that search bar is specifically for looking up specific words. Now, what I use keywords that I don't want to see in books. So I look up spice, I look up a few other words that can be related to that. I look up romance. I look up some of the relationship issues that I don't want to read in there. Of course, this only applies to books that are very popular. And of course, you can get self-published books. Sorry. You can get self-published books and find them on Amazon, but they're going to have less reviews on there and less detailed reviews. Now, if you were to look for, let's just say Harry Potter or The Hunger Games, and you press on that and you did the same thing that I just explained, you're going to find a lot more reviews telling what the content of what's ever in that book than you would do on an independent novel, because there's just less reviews. These methods that I'm explaining to you right now are not like, they're not perfect. Nothing is perfect in this world, and therefore my methods aren't perfect either. These are just the ones that I use, and please keep that in mind if it doesn't work out. So now my number one recommendation to look for in a book, or how to look up a book if it's clean or not, is pluggedin.com. Now, Plugged In, and I want to give a shout out to them, they are not sponsoring this video whatsoever. This is just, I really like them. They're a Christian company that reviews books and movies, and even celebrities like YouTubers. And you can look up booktubers like Haley Pham or Ashlyn Kaylee, or normal YouTubers like Ryan Trahan. You can like look up those people too. And so if you pick on the book icon, it's not really an icon, but it's like reviews for books, and you click on a book that is similar to the one that you're wanting to get, they'll usually tell you what the content is, like the content warnings, the romance in it, if how like violent it is, and the cussing amount. They'll tell you pretty much anything. Now, of course, I love Plugged In, but they don't have all the books. Like, they don't have super popular books on, but I have used Plugged In a lot with getting rid of books. And I've right now I'm reading Matched by Ali. I forget the last name, but I'm reading Matched, and that is a super popular book. So I looked it up on Plugged In, and in the search bar that they have, and well, there it was. And I also had, I think it was Unhooked or something. It was the second book in that series, and I looked at the romance part of it, and it had a ton of spice in it. And even though the first one didn't, which I've noticed that in a lot of series books, and it's just like, it's disgusting. I don't like reading that whatsoever. If you do, that's fine, but for me, I just don't like, I just prefer not to read that. So you looked up all these books and you try to find it, and the reviews say this Christian fiction book is good. Now you start reading it, and then you realize this actually is a bad book, despite the reviews, because this has happened to me. Despite the reviews, it is not a good book. What do you do with that bad book after purchasing it? So the first thing I would do is, if you bought it from Barnes & Noble or your local bookstore, is that I would return it. I would keep the receipt no matter what. I usually, when we go buy a book, my parents and I go and I put the receipt in my book that I just got, and I keep it with it. But also, if you do want to return it, the receipt is right there if you want to. It's just easier if you keep it with the book and it not being scattered everywhere, and you have to go look for that receipt. So the first thing I would do is return it and get your money back, so that you can buy another book that maybe is better, and maybe that is I don't know, maybe the plot line is better, maybe the content is more what you prefer. Now, the second thing I would do is throw it away. I get most of my books from the library. All my local libraries have a used book section, and their books are pretty cheap, from $1 to 50 cents. And for like really good quality books, they'll maybe do $5, or for a really good set, they'll do 10. It's just, they have a cheaper books. Recently, when cleaning out the books, is I got a book for $1, hardbound, really cute romance, but I looked in the description and it actually told me exactly what the content was in that book. And it also happened, my mom and I, while we were in Texas, we went to this really cool bookstore. I'll link that video down below if you want to see that. I think it was called Chelsea High, and it was a romance. And the content, I looked it up on Amazon. I don't think I looked it up on Plugged In, but I also looked it up on Goodreads in the genre section. And It didn't say anything bad in it. Okay, that's great. But when I started reading it, they said Jesus' name in vain a lot. They liked it like maybe 5 times. And I was probably 15, 20% no, I don't want to get my head of myself here because I think I'm a fast reader, but in all honesty, I'm a turtle. So really what happened was they just like said Jesus' name in vain. I'm like, I do not, quotes, like, subscribe to that. By the way, if you're liking this video so far, please subscribe. That would mean a lot. I don't have that many subscribers, and I was going to do a video for my birthday last month, but yeah, no. I ended up, some things prevented me to do that. And so what I did with that book, because from that bookstore, is I just ended up throwing away. And honestly, it was the smartest thing to do because it's just, what else are you going to do with it? Now, my last thing that I do is going to make the comment section not like me. Is that third, I would burn the book. Like, if you ever had like a book where it's like it's a 1 star, I hated every a moment of it. If anything, it would be a 0 star. Of course, I'm just joking. Don't burn your books. That's not good. I'm just joking. But in all honesty, I do recommend returning the book that you purchased or throw it away. But also, before you go to the bookstore next time, go take pictures of what the books that you wanted to get, or write them down on a piece of paper, and then look it up later when you get back home, so that you're not pressured on what books to buy. And that way you will buy books that you agree with as far as being appropriate, what you think is appropriate and what you think is okay to read, and it can abide by your standards. I hope this video helps, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Please consider subscribing and liking this video. Maybe tell me in the comments what other websites I can use for looking for videos. And if you do have that, please, I am not a good talker today. But also, I would like to ask for some prayer. Just because I'm sorry that I haven't been active in the last month. And so I'm sorry that I haven't been active in the last month, but now I am off of school, and hopefully I'll be able to post more videos and more content within the next 3 months of summer. And I hope you have a wonderful summer, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!